So welcome back to Project Infinity. We're going to take you guys behind the scenes a little bit, explain kind of the focus areas that we had when we took on this project, what we love, challenges, and get right into it.
And more about what we love.
So this project is very, very special. The resident is moving from another state, and he definitely wanted a cool vibe. He loves blues, so you're gonna see a lot of play on different color blues, teals, turquoise. Just wanted to really give that kind of glacier type of vibe.
Yeah, it's supposed to have that icy, that coldness, but at the same time, we make it warm with the play on the blues. A lot of different metals as well to kind of give it that cold, futuristic vibe.
Yeah.
So it's one of our best projects, I would say, because
Ooh.
the fact that it came together really, really well.
That's a big statement.
I think so.
That's a big statement.
But it was a big project, so
That's
it goes
true.
hand in hand.
That's true.
But I think each room, each level acts like its own vignette. And right now, we're standing in the middle of Iceland, for lack of a better term, with all the blues and the Atlantic Nordic feel.
I don't really have nothing to add because you're just killing.
Stealing your thunder?
You're just stealing my thunder with all of the words.
But for example, this shadow box just incorporates a lot of that feel with the different textures, like the wind blowing.
But it's very abstract too.
Yes, absolutely. So you can take away from it what you feel. But when we come around over here, we added the
entertainment center.
Yes, the entertainment center.
So this was not here. So you'll see in the befores, this wasn't here at all. And we went back and forth on how long it should be, how deep it should be, the structure of it. My guys were kind of wanting to make some changes when I weren't around, and I very quickly said that's not what I want.
Yeah, so everything has to be around symmetry for me. That's the only way that me and my OCD comes to peace.
Yeah.
And the lighting we had to change, so the recessed lighting as well as the ceiling fans, so on and so forth. So everything had to be a play off the existing walls to make sure that it was a clear line of sight and we had a clear line of definition for each room and to make sure there's a proper separation.
Yeah.
So we went back and forth with a lot of different measurements to get it right, but I think we came to a perfect resolution because this space, I would honestly say that it sets the tone for the rest of the home.
So are you admitting defeat?
No, absolutely not. I never
Because
did
we
this.
ended up doing what I said.
No,
So
absolutely not.
I think that was your way of admitting.
It was a meeting of the minds, I would like to say.
But my mind was bigger.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so anyways, we ended up going with what I said, which is that I wanted this to be gigantic. As you can see, our client got the biggest TV that you can ever find. Robin approved. They did not tell me. And I got here one day and was like, where did this huge TV come from? So I wanted to make sure that the entertainment center was massive enough to hold a TV this large, right? I didn't want you to have immediate focus on the television, which it is big. However, I think it's appropriate. So I'll admit some defeat. See, I admit when I'm wrong.
Well, if you never lose, you never have to admit defeat. So that's all I'm saying. But going back to the project, the stone on here has a light
like a
shimmer
glimmer
to it. And it makes it even more, Arctic and cold feeling, kind of like the polar bear feel.
Yeah.
With the white oversized shelves, with the oversized pottery to decorate it, oversized books and things of that nature, kind of set off the tone. But this is the showstopper.
The lighting.
That's
I knew you were
going
to do that.
And if you go here, you can actually play with the lighting and move it around to different features in the fireplace wall. So if you have something that you want to showcase, you can just move the lighting around. And that goes for each one of the openings here. So definitely one of our favorite, I would say projects, but more importantly, one of our favorite feature
statement
walls.
pieces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is one of our favorite statement pieces for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of work, paid off in the end. I think it's bulky enough. I think it's appropriate for the townhome. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. And we can talk about this forever, but let's talk about some of what we did here at the furniture.
Yes, so entertaining. So we know that our client is gonna entertain, he's gonna have friends, he's gonna have guests. So we wanted to bring in more seating with a custom chair here. You guys know I love custom. I do a whole bunch of custom stuff. His sofa, we want to make sure it was a good enough size where people could sit on, either side and still be comfortable and not feel like they were sitting on top of each other while watching a game or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then this massive table. It's always nice to have a big...
Heavy, massive.
It is heavy.
Gigantic.
Why are you acting like you lifted it?
I did.
Did you lift this?
Yeah, I did lift it. I had to help the movers. That's how heavy this was.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I think they should have gave me a discount, but that's neither here nor there.
I couldn't remember, but the table is massive. It's super heavy, but again, it's appropriate for the space. You can go bulky if you know how to play with like dimensions and space planning. If you don't, it can look like, why do you have that big whatever in your space? So that's why it's important to kind of hire a professional.
Yeah, and I really like the feel of this chair, particularly that was custom made.
It swivels.
It swivels, but it gives me like that igloo feel, like the igloo blocks. So just the icy white amongst all this blue with the contrast. So it really sets off the space, along with the custom pillows. So it just knocked it out the park for sure.
Agree.
But last but not least, we got to talk about this helicopter ceiling fan.
Yes.
That's my nickname for it. That's not the actual name for it.
That was intentional too, because what was in here before, you'll see on the befores, was like a baby fan. We had to move, did we move that over?
Yes,
I can't even remember now.
We had to remove
we moved
all
that,
the lighting.
the floodlights, recess light, not floodlights. We moved the recess lights around as well because, like you said earlier, they weren't proportioned. So yeah, this was Robin's idea for sure. We're really getting into oversized lighting.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see that in this project and more projects moving forward where we like the oversized lighting.
God said, let there be light. And that's what we want. Light, and also, it's hot. We're in the South. So the bigger the blades, the cooler you'll stay. And again,
did that rhyme?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's my rap career.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next space, but this was it. I love this room. The client loved it as well.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's take you to the dining kitchen area. Okay, we are back, and we're gonna go over the. I don't think it's appropriate to call it a kitchen nook. I think it's a dining room.
Oh, for sure.
It's a dining space. We definitely purposely did this so that you have your entertainment space over there, and then you can still have guests eating. They can still see the television, because you can't miss the television. So it's very much the dining space in here.
Yeah, I would say this area is defined in its own space, like a separate vignette, but it all meshes together very well. The coolest thing about this space to me is this light fixture. It sets the tone for everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like pieces of ice frozen, even though that's not pieces of ice.
Yeah.
It just gives me that feel, that chilly feel that, just sets the tone for the space.
But the funny thing about the light, what do you think I'm gonna say?
How long it took, or the truck that it came on?
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother story. I don't think we have enough time for that.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot of back and forth on getting it here. You guys remember that 18-foot truck? This was on it, and it took everything for me to get this here. But remember, I was back and forth on doing gold or doing chrome or doing brushed nickel, and I almost passed up the opportunity to get the light. And Robin came in the last minute, was like, no, why not get it?
It was on my rendering. I made the decision. We got to go with it. But when she told me it was coming on that 18-wheeler, I had to look at it like, what kind of light is this? Did I make the wrong decision?
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of scary because it's like, it's on the pallet and we can't deliver it, and we were like, oh my God. So that's the whole story behind it.
And it was supposed to be delivered to our home because by the time that we ordered it, it was just all this confusion.
Couldn't go to storage.
Couldn't go to storage, couldn't go to the receiver. It was all this just confusion.
So this light has its own story behind it, but we'll continue to move forward.
Yes.
So,
okay, sorry, I got off track.
No, you're fine. So we have this nice round table, and the trick about round tables in smaller spaces, it cuts off the symmetry so that you can get more space and you can get around the furniture, because it's not only about the aesthetics, it's also about the functionality.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to walk around, get in and out without having to bump into things. So round tables normally do the trick for a lot of these type of spaces.
We do a lot of rounds now.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
source a lot of 60 to 72 inch round tables for that purpose alone.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense, especially when you have guests. I don't know, I feel like when you have a rectangular table,
it's always like a box. You gotta walk around like a robot.
It doesn't feel organic.
Yeah.
Right?
It just makes it tougher to get around. Whereas you have this, curve. It just makes it a little bit easier.
I love curves in furniture right now.
But speaking of curves, look at these lamps.
I picked these out.
Oh, here you go. Okay, well, speaking of curves, then look at these mirrors. Let's talk about all the circular mirrors and the play on the.
That was my idea too.
That's not true.
Okay. It's fine. We'll agree to disagree.
Here we go. She's taking all the
Well,
credit.
it's not that it was my idea. You know, if you guys saw our home tour, we have kind of a similar aesthetic with mirrors, right? So I was on the fence. I know my client loved that wall in my home, so I thought, oh, you know, that could be cool. And then Robin just kept pushing it, so we ended up doing it, but only doing circles.
Yes, because that's what it needed to kind of mimic the round table and the light fixture. So it was a play on circles. And again, to break it up from what it was in the living room, you want to have its own vignette, its own feel to it. And I think we did that by, you know, having this separate area with the circular mirrors to bounce, again, more light in to make the room feel bigger. But then also something to contrast against the icy blue wall. And then, you know, with the light fixture, the lamps that we have, and this huge credenza that's great for storage as well.
The slow closing doors.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You know, and we capped it all off with some floral arrangements and some nice trees. By this person here, I don't know her name. You know, you may know her, you may not, but it's not important.
I'm gonna give you guys a tip on hydrangeas too, because hydrangeas will take you through it. You'll wake up the next day and child, they all be dead. So I'm gonna give y'all some tips on that on another video. But yes, I do like to do my own floral arrangements.
Yeah.
So I think it turned out amazing. I love it.
Amazing, incredible,
I love it.
gorgeous.
Another good one. Thank you for your assistance.
Assistance? I was. All right, next room.
Bye. Okay, so we are in the third level of the home. So we're gonna show you the owner suite, but I wanted to start off with talking about these walls. They are, of course, board and batten millwork that we're kind of known for. We've done it a lot. We've been doing it for a very, very, very long time. And we like to come up with our own designs. I do have to give Robin credit. He came up with this design. It's killer. And you can see as it goes down the steps, it doesn't break in pattern, which is very important and very hard to do. So I was pretty impressed with it. And again, the colors give you that cool, icy, like glacier type of feel. And we have the detail that we added here as well, some more millwork. And then it plays off of the millwork behind it. So just dimensions and levels, you know, just so your eye can go different places, but it still feels very, very cohesive. And then we added another shadow box. I love shadow boxes and I love abstract art. And I feel like with this one, it gives you that art gallery feel. The client was pretty much open to everything that we suggested, which is always nice. But from an art perspective, he did like more simple, abstract, classy art. So we came in and did a few shadow boxes, did some additional wall gallery lighting above it just to give it a little bit of focus. At night, it's really pretty too when you have all the lights off and you just have the gallery light on. So another really nice piece that plays off of, if you remember, the shadow box that was downstairs. It's different, but it still feels cohesive. And then as we enter up the stairs, this was kind of a last minute add-on. Well, not last minute. It wasn't in our original rendering. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we always tell clients to really trust the process. Because things can change. You know, you get in the space and if it doesn't feel organic, if it doesn't flow, we don't want to be stuck to whatever that rendering is. So with this space, originally I was going to put the chairs in the master suite, in the owner suite. I love to put them at the end of beds, but we're working with a tighter fit in the owner suite, but I wanted to make sure that it still felt large. So that's why we brought these out here. Put a nice, again, round table. You guys know we love round tables. Look at the details on the chair. Like, the details on the chair are incredible. These are, I wish I could show you the back too. These are probably two of my favorite chairs. I'm sure y'all sick of us saying things are our favorite, but I can't decide. But these are probably two of my favorite chairs just because of the detail. And the chrome is like, it's like mirrored. You know, you can see yourself in it. They're amazing. If I had somewhere to put in my own home, I probably would have put in my own home. Don't tell my client that. Custom pillows, again, and just a nice like area before you go into your bedroom that you can kind of take a seat and relax, kind of like you see in boutique hotels. They have like a waiting area or a conversation area outside of the owner suite. That's what this is. So I impressed myself with this one. I hope you guys like it too. Let's go to the owner's suite. All right, my favorite space. Biggest favorite, my favorite space. But y'all know I love owner suites. This owner suite is custom. There, which you probably saw in the episode, there were some changes to floor plans in this space just to make sure that we were maximizing the space that we have. So we did end up putting our bed center with the windows behind it. Originally, we had it on the back wall there, but we decided that this was gonna be the best fit. We have these oversized hair on hide chests, and we didn't want our client to come, out of the bathroom and then be right there with the chest. So we ended up doing this design, and it was the best design. It's what we probably should have chose from jump. So the fact that the backup plan ended up being the best plan is why you should always have a backup plan. So yeah, custom everything, drapery, custom. We came in and did this kind of aged brass rod. There is a story behind the drapery. I'm not gonna get into it, but just know I moved hell and high water to get the drapery here on time, and the company that did it, they really worked with us. So got the drapery here in time. It serves as a perfect backdrop. So at night you can just easily, they glide super easy, right? So you've got your wand right here, and then you can just move them back in the morning. At night you can close them shut. Again, hotel vibes. I love your owner suite to feel like you're going on a getaway, you're in a nice swanky hotel. I wanna make it feel like you don't wanna leave your owner suite to go to a hotel. So that's the vibe that I get when I walk into this space. Bedding is custom. So we have custom duvet, always custom pillows, custom shams. I love the kind of oversized border, oversized flange that we have on the shams here. See, I get all into these details. That's why I did this one by myself, because Robin would have rushed me. I get all into the details of an owner suite. Bedding is super important. I always tell my client, once we get to the bedding, that's not the time to kind of pull back, right? It's the time to go custom, get quality duvet inserts, depending on if you like, a warm bed, or if you like an all-season duvet insert. Like, those are the details that I dive into with our clients to make sure that we're fitting their needs. The headboard is also custom. The headboard was meant to blend in with the drapery. So again, I wanted it to feel very cohesive, very seamless. I didn't want to do a dark headboard and bring attention to the headboard. I wanted it to just disappear. So doing that custom linen headboard with the linen drapery, that is definitely one of those details that you have to have the eye for. And again, kind of a switch move, but our vendors were able to help us out and get it done. It turned out amazing. Same thing with lamps, lamp shades. You kind of have this taupe color and this linen shade, so it blends with your drapes. It plays so well on the hair and hide chest. I have a lot of favorite chests, so I'm not gonna say these are my favorite chests, but I have a lot of favorite chests. I wish you guys could actually feel the chests. Again, they're hair on hide. They're just amazing. They're slow closing. I don't know what you can't like about the chest. They're amazing. Okay, moving over here. This massive piece weighs about 375 pounds. So it took several people to get it up here. Our movers actually ended up having to call their boss and another guy to come help them get it up the flight of stairs. I mean, guys, it's heavy. I love sourcing good quality, heavy furniture. So I'm not gonna skimp. If you have 3 floors or not, you're still gonna get heavy quality furniture, which is what you see here. This is marble. And soft accessories, client was very clear that he doesn't like a lot of accessories, so just very soft. Candle, artwork, again, abstract art, framed, so not necessarily shadow box, but it is, framed artwork. Very classy, simple. He did not want a TV in the bedroom, so I love that. I love when clients don't want TVs in their bedroom. We don't have a TV in our bedroom, so I love that he liked to just kind of have it as a peaceful, serene space. Wallpaper on the ceiling. The wallpaper on the ceiling, I love it. I love everything about it. It's just bringing in another detail, more pattern play. You guys know I love pattern play. He didn't want a chandelier. He made sure that we knew he needed a fan. So I had to be very intentional about the fan that I sourced. The fan needed to look like a chandelier, in my opinion, but very much be a fan. So this is a high-powered fan. I'm not gonna tell y'all where I got it because y'all gonna try to go get his fan. I ain't having it. But it's a very high-powered fan that's mirrored, and it looks to me like a chandelier. So it did its job. And then always millwork. We're always gonna give you kind of an additional detail, which this was meant to go on an opposite wall, and it was different when we had the layout different. But we just switched it. We made it work. Everything in here plays so well off of each other. The rug, the marble credenza, bedding, pillows. It feels simple. This is my definition of a simple. Again, my definition of simple is different from everyone else's, but this is my definition of simple, classy space, hotel vibes. So I hope y'all enjoyed this one as much as I do. I hope you guys can tell how much I love this over suite.
This wall is phenomenal. Regina can't take credit for this. This was all my idea. I did the rendering. I came up with the shapes. So I just want to let you know, I did all of it. I want all the credit. But enough about that. Let's talk about this amazing bonus office room, Omega, everything. I can't even think of the words. But let's start off here by looking at this great picture painted by a great artist. You may know him, you may not know him, but he's world renowned. But enough about the artist. Let's talk about the picture itself. So we're not too far from Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. And if you guys know this guy named Cam Newton that used to do the Superman, he used to open up his jersey, stretch it out, and let you know that Superman was here to save the day. Well, we took a play off that and we did Omega Man, since our client is an Omega. And we pay respect to Cam Newton as well as my client by meshing the two together. So hope you guys enjoy that painting. We have a full-size sofa bed here for when he has guests come over. These nice swivel chairs, which are amazing, piped in a lighter color violet. This desk chair is meant for a king. Right above, the Omega picture, just kind of setting the tone with this purple wall, which is phenomenal. I mean, it makes the room feel even bigger than what it is because of the fact that we did one accent wall, but the lighting. When we first got this project, it was very, very dark in the basement area. So we knew that we had to go with a lot of lighting in here. So we found this perfect fixture that had the bright lights on it. Then we added some additional lighting with this light over here, the standing light, and above the art piece. But then we added the lighting as well over here with the lamps. Now, as we talk about all the lighting, what is all this lighting for? It's for when you're working, right? So when you have a seat at this desk and it's time to get to work, you need to make sure that people can see the background for your Zoom call. So no automated or AI or any of that stuff. This is the real deal. You get to see the real art behind them. Furthermore, this is a perfect place for entertaining. Watching a football game, boxing, and having a little time to wind down if you're coming from the office. But it's one of our favorite rooms, a great place to work and unwind and entertain. So you get all in one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the room as much as I did. And maybe I'll be back as an uninvited guest.